you so much for being there. Good morning to you. My good name is Brian Sanko. Welcome back. If you missed the first part of the conversation that Stephanie had, you'll absolutely find it on YouTube at Y254 channel. Personally, my handle is at Brian Sanko Online. Now, in this conversation that I'm about to have with my guest, we are delving into matters relationship. Now, as social media continues to play a major role in connections, especially matters relationships, most Gen Zs are prioritizing personal growth over romantic relationship. According to an article that was published on the Nation website, it says a specific demographic of Gen Z women prefer to date, men who have unpredictable and literally who have outgoing personalities. In other words, bad boys. What makes it so in a day and time where social media is the order of the day? And to help me delve into this conversation further, I'm going to engage Gladson Obwamo. He's a psychologist alongside Jonah Mugambi. He's the founder of Waldensis Youth. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Yes, you guys are more chiller. He's a psychologist. He's also into something that has to do with mental health, but he's the founder of Waldensis Youth. Yeah, so it's a group organization or something. Yeah, but you'll tell us more about it. I don't know if you guys agree with this article as well. I'll sample to you some of the feedbacks and reactions to what they're saying. They're saying a lot of ladies would go for an unpredictable guy who is aggressive, who's outgoing. In other words, a bad boy. Maybe I can start off with you, Jonah. Do you believe it's true ladies would prefer to date a man who's a little bit outside there? We are outside, hashtag, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So my take over the same issues is a slightly different way of tackling. And I'd just like us to get into the meanings of the wordings that we put in today's topic. And sometimes what we're struggling with is the notional or societal definitions of the same. And when it comes to the issue of bad boys, the question is how it's defined. And more so, I find there's this part of mislabeling masculine gents to be bad boys, And then if you speak
mislabeling.
Mislabeling masculine men to bad boys. And then we have the fact that we have bad boys. If we go by some form of notional definition of what we expect a bad boy to be, is that emotionally reckless individual, chaotic, dramatic, aggressive, not really into something important. And that really puts it to what now notionally society expects such to be. And then this other type of a man, the masculine one. Sometimes
so we've defined the bad boy. Now this is next you're talking about the masculine man.
Yeah, mislabeled bad boy. And I would like us to get the difference today.
Absolutely. Love it. Go ahead.
This man is always decisive, assertive, a great decision maker, and with clear boundaries.
Right.
Sometimes he doesn't seek validation. He's there to be him and him. So most of the time you find him not really into these girls, or rather when he's there, he's sound to be not available, And then now having these points that we are having about the bad boy, of course we have the other side, the good boy, which is a nice way we should look at him too. So what exactly does the society expect of this? A good boy most of the time is the one who is available, the nice person. Most of the time others will connect them to religion, the piano boy, and that's just what, those good people. But now we have to make a difference again of what we expect of a good boy and simps.
Oh, simps, wow.
I love the way you've broken it down. Individuals who are overly available. Yeah. And they see dust. D is constant. Dust. D is constant. Okay. And now these are the good people. Most of the time the society see them. As the topic was suggesting, the bad boys are always driving relationships. And the good boys now, the simps will never drive. And I want to make it clear. A bad boy does not drive in a relationship. A masculine man doth make it nice. A simp will never taste. Most of the time we'll end up friend zoned. You won't get to taste anything.
So I thought it's a good boy who gets friend zoned, not the bad boy.
The bad boy will never get
but
that.
But you've given an explanation of a masculine man, a bad boy, and a simp here. So who gets friend zoned here? Is it?
So we have to make it very clear. So this good boy, he is a simp in disguise, you know. We are going to get into the facts that we are facing in the society.
Okay.
And that's why I wanted to also make a difference between the bad boy and the masculine one.
So a bad boy is not masculine?
No, really. He isn't.
Okay.
Because if you're going by the definition, emotionally reckless, how are you going to tell me he is? But there's that other person who is not going to be seeking validation, or more so, because he is invested into himself and for himself. He will seem not to be available into these things that our ladies expect.
That's
so,
a little bit narcissistic though, right? Don't
yeah,
you?
in a way that's, that man who is invested into the same. And he will sound to be this way. So we are going to get also the biology behind them getting attracted to a person who is barely
available, emotionally
who is
available.
barely available.
Okay.
That attention, and you know, the social media has a lot of to play. Not really even biology nowadays. You know, they are really, we are being lied into or onto by the online trends. And we seek that validation, and that thing is just always stinging hard and harder each and every time. And that's why we are going to get things working in a worse way, and the bad boys will take the upper side.
So it's societal pressure.
Yeah, societal pressure.
Let me throw it to you, Gladson. Yeah. Do you believe that, you know, according to this article as well, that, you know, a lot of ladies would go for, and I love the fact that, you know, he's given three differences between, you know, a masculine man, a simp, and then a bad boy. Do you believe ladies opt to go for, you know, the emotionally reckless and unavailable guy, otherwise known as a bad boy, than a reserved and conservative, charismatic dude who's just out there to, you know, get a good time?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me here.
Yeah. And by the way, he's a psychologist. To underline that.
It's important when we have such discussions because they're so good. So first, let us look at what love is. Love is an adventure. And since love is an adventure, there's a lot of predictability. And these predictabilities, and also some unpredictability in it, whereby now ladies thrive in the unpredictability. Men thrive in the predictability. I can predict, okay, my girl will love this when I do it. I'll do this. See, but for a girl, she just wants you to be someone mysterious in some ways. They thrive in that, and and such things are not so much found in the good boys, because the bringing up of the good boys are those who are being told that you need to love your girl, you need to respect her, you need to take good care of her. Look at her as your sister and stuff. So they'll be like, what if I do this alafu ask vibaya? What if nifanye hivi alafu react vibaya? No. So he'll be so reserved in what they are doing and the amount of exploration they will want to do in a relationship. But when it comes to a bad boy, bad boys are always, I can say reckless, just due to lack of a better word, but they always do things like tufanye iko nini. I get your design here. Let's do it. So when it comes to relationship, they'll be so explorative, they'll be so unpredictable in what they do. They will always be thinking, as long as this thing works, they will go for it. So this is why girls love them, because girls look for three things from a man. One is protection, and this protection always comes from bad boys. Bad boys fight. Whether you're in a club, whether you're anywhere, we play with their girls. They turn physical, and the girl is like, wow, he is fighting for me. He is fighting for me. So I actually love this. They will always stand up there for the girl.
Is it for a show or to show that I am your God and I'm the man? You know, could it be a show that is being put out or something?
No, they are always genuine.
It's honest.
It's honest, because you see, most of these bad boys also, they are also less handsome. Less handsome means, so if I get you as my girlfriend, I'm not so sure if I leave you, I'll get the other person easily. So these people tend to be so loyal. And when they have a girl, wanasemanga ni huyu mpaka mwisho. Wanataka kumwita mama mapema, huyu ni mama. They introduce her to the whole society, wajue msimedol na huyu. Don't meddle na huyu ni mama.
Huyu ni wangu, ni mark.
They start mapema. So you find that such things, such validations, girl enjoy, because they feel like, okay, this man appreciates me, introduces me to everyone, are proud of me and stuff like that. But for a good boy, will want to take their time. study you, let us take it slow, let us do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to make this thing private, it's our own affair, you see. And the girl will be like, why are you hiding me? Why are you doing all these things? So they will actually lack that feeling of, this person loves me. But for the bad boy, I said, one, they offer protection. Number two, they're very loyal. Bad boys rarely cheat. And if they ever cheat anyway.
Loyalty.
They're very, very loyal people.
Yeah.
Even if they go to any club or any church or anywhere they go, they will always identify with the girl they have. Nimekuja na mama. They start from the word go.
Just to deviate a little bit, this article says that bad boys will always get another girl while they're with another girl. In the example you've given, they're in a club, but there's other ladies who are still crushing on him, and he'll still leave his girl on the table and go and say hi to these other chicks who are crushing on him. So I don't know.
The balance. Okay, now I'm coming to that. Now, let me finish with this. So I was saying they're very loyal. Then lastly, they are very explorative in nature. So they love exploring. They will just want to see what other alternative ways can I be doing to this girl to make her happy. How can I just be making sure that anabambika na mimi akiniona tu every time she's always on toes. So because they're so explorative. So to come back to your question, yes, there are two types of bad boys still. There are two types of bad boys. And in this setup, we find that there are those bad boys who are naturally bad. Naturally, which means from the environment setup, from where they came up from. Maybe let's say they came from ghetto and ghetto. Stuff like that, the environment. So you find that those ones are naturally, it grows with them.
Yeah, like Tupac, would you say as well, Tupac, just an example, people that are associated with rap music and hip hop, would you say all of them are bad boys? Yeah, from the likes of Young Thug, Tupac, rest in peace, Biggie, P. Diddy of Bad Boys Entertainment. In fact, his whole entire crew was, trying to show, being rough on the edges and whatnot. And hip hop is associated with being, gangster or thug, yeah. Yes,
okay, that's why I was coming now to the next one, whereby now, apart from the environmental factor, whereby now you are born into poverty and you have to toughen yourself as a man growing up. That is one part. Then there are those that...
So you become a bad boy.
Yes,
through.
you are a poor bad boy.
Poor bad boy.
Poor bad boy. You see? Then there is those now that when I talk from the suburbs. Those who are from the rich, the cool kids. What it was the bad cool kids. So these ones now, those are the ones who cheat. They cheat the most. And because they have this influence. In fact, they love to dominate. Yeah. They dominate you as a person.
I think that's a common character with all bad boys, actually.
Exactly.
Being dominant.
Dominant, yes. They love dominating. And they think they have influence over you because in most cases, they always go for those girls who are financially lower than them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they always go for guys who are financially lower than them so that they can thrive through that. They'll be using that as a leverage for them doing anything. Like, spoil, I give her money, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even if I go to another person and maybe just be me, they will always cheat. Do that. Then they also have this group of boys who they cheat with. They always create a group of men whereby they always walk like a group of 5, 6 people, where they even maybe hire Airbnbs or just go to clubs and just they love this chaos.
Have a good time.
Yes, they just love creating this chaos everywhere. Exactly. So when you have this type of two boys, we have those bad boys who are very loyal, and then we have these who are cool kids who are just it's as an adopted bad boys. You can say they are adopted bad boys, whereby they just pick these things and use their monies just to have this good time.
Yeah. Let me jump on to you, Jonah. Is it a good thing to be either of these things? He's given out a really professional, perspective of it, and I think I love it. Is it good to at least fall between either being a bad boy or I think you've not talked about a good boy, but I'd love to hear your version of a good boy as well. Is it good to have, at least as a gentleman, to know whether you're falling in the category of a bad boy or a good boy? And then also a simp. Let's not leave out a simp because you had mentioned it here. And then you said about a masculine man, yeah? Yeah, so is it okay for a man to at least, know where you fall? Okay. Does it help in anything?
So, as a matter of fact, this is a crazy generation. And most of the things as they used to be, they've just been tampered with, And everything, it's not, there's nothing that is rigid, You're not going to offer a very rigid view of a certain issue. And what I'm going to consider is the fact that the society has totally changed or is changing. And more so, we're going to face things as they are. So in nowadays, we have these matters at hand, and also this issue of bad boys and everything. So the fact that bad boys are okay, I like the fact that he has spoken of the two sides, the poor bad boy and there's this rich one. Okay, either way, by definition, no one would like to be like that. And the question is, why do girls want these people?
Yeah. And the question is it okay for at least a man to identify with either?
To be that.
Does it help in anything in your personal life? Yeah.
Not really. Let me build up on the same. So, you know, these individuals usually offer a roller coaster of emotions. And to a girl, as she is, a subconscious cue, biologically, seek the same. And that's why most of the time you'll see them falling into that, you know. And most of the time these people are not always there. For example, in a world that our girls seek attention, validation, these people most of the time you'll see them mistreating them. And sometimes they'll feel not enough, you know. The person who might have rejected you, acted reckless, you're just a girl, you know. The question is left in your mind is, what have I done wrong? Or rather you'll feel incomplete, you know. And the moment you feel that, that's when now you start chasing this man. Instead of having that person who is maybe the good person, you know. But also for me, I'll go for the masculine person who is understanding what he is as a man. He will remain to be attractive.
Yeah.
Without being a simp, you know. So our girls are always taken into this simply because I can't blame them. Biologically, they desire to be in a roller coaster. You know, in a way, it shouldn't be that plain a relationship. You know, it is adventurous. You know, and sometimes you know, the person who is there, she calls, you know, and everything seems like that. But this person leaves her with questions. She feels incomplete. She's seeking validation and attention. So our girls should be guided to understand where we are living in and to avoid a lot of pressures from online.
So it doesn't help anything if you're a bad boy or a good boy or a simp or whatever. But for masculinity, I think
that's where we should.
That's a completely different frame, I think, that even touches on both sides, yeah?
It touches on our girls, you know. It's an issue of empowering these young men and guiding our girls, you know. I just take that route instead of really taking any of these, because either way, being overly the good and being this bad is of no essence therein, you know. And now, for you to be a complete person who understands exactly what it is, you can be positively masculine, create what she needs, be the man that you want to see in life, and at the same time, not be a bad boy. By this I mean, you're a person who is assertive, decisive, clear boundaries, and most of the time, you know, we are young people who are dating, you know. A girl does not want to see a person who is not consumed by purpose. And that's why what most good men, as you call them, but I call them simps, will never see to get a good girl.
Okay.
That is a fact. You know, you're there showing her that she is the world, whereas you've not even built an empire. For yourself, you've not even made your own name. But what all you can do is just keep on simping, gifting, and doing this and that. But there's a man who is focused in his career. I'm a law student. I'm busy in my books, and this girl will fall in that, you know. And most of the time, the moment that I am not seeking that validation from the society, most people now will view me as a bad boy. But that is the concept that keeps most people thriving. And now for the bad boy who is reckless, why they do is simply because they offer what our girls seek. Like in a relationship, they want to see something that is, when most of the time they feel empty, unable to do something, and they are left with questions. Why is this guy doing this to me?
But then also, is it all the girls that are going for these, you know, simps or unpredictable men who now bad boys or now good men? Is it because in the article as well it says it's just a specific demographic. Not every lady or woman out there is going for, you know, a bad boy or good boy or whatever. I think it's an organic thing. But then also, still on you, would you say this bad boy, simp, or masculine thing from society, it's because of maybe lack of identity for the man?
Absolutely, yes. We are in a society where, you know, we are really consumed by empowering the girl through force. Most of the time, we get our boys not guided. They are clueless of what they're supposed to do, maybe even in these relationships, what they're supposed to focus on. And most of the time, they are lost, you know, always hanging on that WhatsApp, getting blue ticks and gray ticks. Instead of having a man who is empowered to understand that he has to run for something, he's busy wasting his time. So what we lack here is the fact that these people lack direction, you know. And that's why sometimes in my under mega motive I have a movement, a healed man doesn't kill. I usually
Healed
do
man
these,
doesn't kill.
offer
Okay.
lessons to help our young people, especially the young person, the young man,
Yeah.
to understand what he should be doing. Sometimes it's not an issue of you being there overly present. It's an issue of you understanding that your absence matters. And the moment you'll not value absence, that means she was never into you, no? And
Yeah.
the moment you balance the two, you are a good person who is going to thrive in a relationship. And one thing I have to say about the bad boys, we have to get it clear that they don't thrive in relationships. Either way, it's going to die.
Yeah.
As far as you're clearly a bad boy, you're going to do nothing with it. But now, if you are a man who is
Is it because maybe there's no, I'd say, let's say a nourishing environment that will make your relationship work, or just by the nature of you being unpredictable, you're likely to land on another better relationship ahead, because all these things are in a relationship set, romantic, in fact, relationship setup here.
So we have to agree. We have seen these things. These people thrive in evoking, let's say, some rational emotions, feelings very quickly, you know. They will make the girl feel the urge to be accepted very fast, you know. These are emotions.
So there's a sense of
There's some
love bombing there.
Yes, love bombing,
Okay.
actually. That's what it is. And the moment this thing dies, that's when everybody will see this was a bad boy. And that's when the girl will regret, why did I
Okay.
fall for him?
Right.
Actually, he has cheated, he has done with this and that. So what they drive in is not a relationship.
And funny thing is, from the stories and confessionals, you'll try to hear that this lady was following this guy and trying to again chase him to make him return to her life, yeah?
Return to her
Even
life.
after the worst that happened in the relationship, yeah?
Yes, I said one thing.
Isn't that not a mental...
No. Okay, I said
I'll
there's
jump onto you
this
in a bit,
subconscious
yeah.
cue. It's not really some form of mental problems. I say our girls like that, and you know, most of the time for a girl, she's the one who is going to choose the man, you know, the
Yeah.
man that she wants. And the moment there's some things that you're going to spark in a girl that she'll never get in that nice guy. And that's why most of the time you see them going back there. And these people, as we say, they just love bombed. And you can't get the same thing again because you are all in flattery. And the moment the reality hits,
Yeah.
that relationship cannot thrive.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, let me jump onto you. I have like 3 questions in between. I'd love to hear a version of a good boy, but he's raised the point of love bombing. I don't know. And then the question again is it a good thing for at least a man to fall in either of those categories? But first go with the example. What entails, let's say, the structure and the frame of a good boy? Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Well, a good boy is just the opposite of a bad boy. One, they are measured in their way of doing things. They don't go extreme because they are always within the boundaries of I should not commit any crime. Crime means I should not overdo things. I should just do what is right. Love my girl, provide for her, and maybe show respect and stuff like that. Then number 2, these good boys are those that they will always wake up in the morning. Good morning. If you don't answer, they will still call you at 9 p.m. to confirm. "Bono kushika simu yangu," and they will never shout at you. They never shout at you easily unless they have an evidence of why they should shout at you. You see, they will always have
He
this.
calls them a simp
Yeah.
for doing that.
Well, I think
Yeah.
simps is a societal construct, but
Yeah.
simp is just more of a mirage. It doesn't exist because if you look at it from this angle, you will find that everyone is a simp. It just depends on how you're simping. Everyone is a simp.
The version of
Yeah, it's just that nile unapata kwa mfano maybe I have money,
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't. Just an example. And I buy my girl flowers, chocolates, and maybe I take her to a spa for some treatment. They'll call me a simp. But in reality, if you look at it, it's just me taking care of my girl, and you are unable to do that. But your girl also desires to do that. You see,
Yeah.
so it's just more of a societal construct whereby now those men that cannot provide for their girl, they use it as a place to hide.
They use it as a filter
yeah, exactly.
to hide
you're
their
just
misery.
hiding, yeah. You're just hiding to just make
Or
the
the
other person
inadequacies,
feel bad,
the
so that
inadequacies.
so that they can be like you. You see, you're just bringing them to your
to
side.
normalize
The
suffering.
Okay.
Okay.
Pressure.
Yes.
It just
I'm
gives us
seeing it,
unnecessary
yeah.
pressure. You see,
Okay.
for example, during the last Valentine's, There are those who are gifting their girls money instead of
Yeah.
flowers. They
Yeah.
roll them so well.
Actually, it's a trend right
It's a trend now.
Instead
right
of doing
now.
a whole bouquet,
Exactly.
you just,
Just do
you know,
some,
bundle the notes up and you splash. Yeah.
And what were men doing? All ladies were feeling, okay, wow, I love this. I want to experience this. I want
Yeah.
to do this. But for men, these are simps. These are people, lost men. These are people who are just destroying us.
We just lost another
You see, exactly.
And
Yeah, we have lost one of us.
Rukibe calls them what? Akakinudi or what?
Bukibe.
There's something he uses on Bahati, with the way he spoils Diana. you know.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, so such stuff. So it's just a man's way of trying to make you feel bad and come to their side. But in reality, everyone wants to be a simp. You just want to make your girl happy. You just want them to feel okay with you. You just want to give them whatever you think is good for them.
Is it different in a marriage setup and in a relationship setup?
Yeah, it's different.
Where, like, dating, to be specific, and then marriage setup.
Yeah.
The husband is always doing, or the hubby, he's always doing surprises, you know. We see it happen a lot in the celebrity world, The surprises, the G-Wagons being unveiled, the house tours, the vacations, you know what, you know.
You see, in a dating world, you will always be measured, and because you don't know the future. You don't know if you are investing in your future partner. Is it your wife and stuff like that? Maybe you feel like, what if I do all these things? Then they just all of them end down the drain. You see, so you always wonder, should I do it or not? So you'll just get some bits of it.
Yeah.
But
That
with
is in
your
a
wife,
dating scene.
yes,
Yeah.
that's a dating scene. But in your wife, you're sure. Maybe
Okay.
mother of your child already, maybe you're married, maybe
Yeah.
you even went for Rurashio, and maybe you did the wedding, maybe the formal wedding or the traditional wedding, whatever was done, it was solidified. So you know, this is mama. Ako kwa nyumba, we are living with them. So with that setup, you can always be doing all these things with that assurance kwamba I'm doing it to my wife. But in the setup of a girlfriend, you can still do that. He'll find a better man, he'll jump.
Does a bad boy get to settle in a marriage?
Yeah, bad boys settle in marriages, but mostly those who are you call initially the poor bad boys. Those ones always date with a clear intention.
Yeah.
Yes, with a clear intention that them nikimnasa ni hivyo, huyu na wife. And they will tell you from the word go kwamba we are dating with a purpose. But for the rich bad boys, those are those explorative. They want to, if they see this girl, they want to sample. They do sampling. Yeah, today I'm going and to see how. For example, let's say in Nairobi, atasema nataka nione mademu wa Nakuru, how are they in their dating life? Alafu nione how Nairobians behave. Alafu nende niangalie LD. That's what we call it Vasha boys. They are always on these trails. Safari Rally ikifika, they are there. They want to sample, and they go as boys. They never carry their girls with them. You see, so
with the
those
cars and Subarus and everything.
Exactly.
Subaru
They're just
boys,
there for the
you know.
for the enjoyment.
Is it a bad boy thing as well? This Subaru boy thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad boy thing, and it's now that is majorly for those who have money, those who can afford to hire a Subaru or maybe buy one and stuff.
Or
like that.
already have it.
Yeah, they already have it.
on
Yeah, that's why you find them in shorts and some cool socks and maybe open shoes and stuff like that. They will be flossing what they have, just with an intention of pinpointing some few girls in the crowd, among the crowd, and picking them, and now using their money and influence. In fact, they are never that romantic per se in some nature.
okay.
They always use their money to even woo you.
To capture.
Yeah, to capture you. How do you think to end the bar flani, we do the restaurant flani? What do you think about that? Then we're like, oh, this is a posh one. Let's go. You see? So from there, everything happens, and you find most of them also, they are those one-night stand people. They love that, the quickies and stuff like that. They thrive in such. No strings.
And then it's
no
also
strings
shared on
attached.
social media, actually. You see it, you see the streaks, the social media, Insta stories, on
exactly.
X,
Someone
videos.
tells you, so nakwambia, by the way, mimi, I mean, the sponsor, like the other person who was sponsored from Mombasa to Kisumu, and then he got stood up because maybe the things didn't go so well. So they can even spend on you, but now you come, they have a good time with you, then they drop you like hot potato, like, I'm done with you. You see? So they always date with no intention, but for the bad boys, and these poor bad boys are the ones that now are being loved by the girls around. In fact, if you do most of this research, they are the ones
Poor
that
bad
loved.
boys,
Poor
without
bad
money.
boys. Yeah, without money, because those ones are committed and loyal. They will always tell you the truth. But then mimi sina do, lakini I'll do my best to make sure kwamba tunaishi maisha poa. So they will always be struggling outside here. You will always see their efforts in everything they do. They will respect you as a person because they know you are already doing too much by being in their life. So they will also value who you are to them.
Okay, but then all this spoiling and this lavish, I'd say, show ponies that event that's going on, is it just to spoil the girl and make her feel good, or it ends up, you know, somewhere at an Airbnb and something happens, because I think there's something we are avoiding, and this is daytime TV. I know we can't delve into the tiny nitty-gritties of sex, but you realize that that is like the main part in all this bad boy, good boy thing, yeah? So I don't know. Is it because they want to actually just have a good time with this lady, or it's just to spoil them and like, this is a signature. I want you to feel me, and this is what I can do with you and mimi, you know?
Yeah, for everyone that have been mentioned there, the simp, with ones they're called simps, the good bad boys and the poor bad boys. So all these, okay, they always have an end goal in mind, but I will remove the poor bad boys in this because they can't afford to spend that much in them. But now the rich bad boys and now the simps, those who have money but they are not so rational in the way of doing things. So you find these two, they will always have a goal in mind. Nasikia huyu dem nataka tu nione how good she is in bed. I just want to explore her. So I will do anything to take her to an Airbnb, even if it include paying ndege akuje, I will do that just to make sure I get her. So after that, they will drop you like they don't even know you.
And then it ends up on Telegram.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They leak. Some of them go to an extent where, especially that's why the rich bad boys, they do that. They film. They wanakwekea camera, a hidden camera. They do what they do with you. They tell you 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they use that to tell you, say, why sema tuko nawe pamoja. And if you do that, I'm going to leak this. So wewe ukianza kuona, maybe you feel bad now, these things didn't go the way I want, you start telling it around. Then all of a sudden, okay, so umeamua kufanya hivyo, let me do this. Unajipata Telegram, you're trending there. And that's what they always do. Because they always have an end goal in mind. Ya kwamba, mimi sitaki uniharibie jina. This is my signature. I want to explore. Before I marry, I want to sample a number of ladies. And I know with a Subaru, the same way, some time back, kumekuwa na hii trend ya, if you have a nduthi, all ladies will come to you.
Oh, yeah. This e-bike.
Yeah, exactly. There was there because there's free transport. Then these nduthi people, they are loving. They take you outside for every. So you see, so the same way with the Subaru people. So all these people, they all narrow down to the same thing. These people are adventurous, and once you're adventurous, many of these girls who love having good times outside, especially on weekends.
They want to travel.
They will flock to
we are outside.
Yes.
That is the hashtag,
Man,
actually. We are
so
outside.
me and my man to go out, chilling out.
Yeah.
Stuff. Exactly. So they will not even, such girls, they will not even focus on where this relationship is going. They'll be focusing on now. What are we doing tomorrow?
The good time.
But baby umepangaje weekend tunaenda
So there's no long-time goal, vision, dream in it. It's just a good time, and I forget you, or I can always regurgitate towards you maybe after a month or weeks.
Exactly. And if you bring up this topic of marriage, utakwambia ni mapema bana, mapema sana. Why are we talking about that? Let us enjoy life. You tuongelea after 2 years, 3 years. So within this time, you just live a reckless life whereby you both do everything you want together. And this now, the other boys, wahuyu, poor bad, good bad boy, they will always unapata kwamba the rich few wanamsaidia ku hide whatever they do.
Oh, so they protect each other.
Yes,
it's like a community.
Yes, in fact, they'll make sure kwamba you know all of them. So that when I'm not around, you can call one of them. Then akwambia Jonte leo ako kazi manzee akanapiga night shift, so itabidi maybe, but akikam nitakwambia. And they always talk about everything, but then next week kuna mtu navukisha, they call it kuvukisha.
I've actually nisipeane siri, by the way, nisipeane siri. Hold it there. A typical Gen Z who's outside there right now, do they fall in any of these categories? Because I'm trying to also look at it as well. Gen Zs, in fact, there's an article that said most Gen Zs are not even prioritizing to be in romantic relationships. Most of them prefer, say, personal growth, things like mental well-being. You know, most of them who are on dating sites don't even want to meet. They stood up each other, like he's mentioned. There's somebody who got stood up. Are they into these things? This is for the adults who are ready to actually, and also who have the capacity to actually do it. Yeah.
So about the Gen Zs, honestly speaking, the issue on emotions and everything, these young men are innate most. And when it comes to issues concerning depression, the person who was taken to that Airbnb who felt inadequate was that young girl in the university. That young girl was just left from 4. It's just that person. At this age is where we have these issues at peak, by the way. It's not even an issue of the old. You will hear about mamas and babas. So the most affected are young people. So kusu twende Basha, twende wherever they go, they're these young people. and they just go for these fleeting pleasures. These are facts either way. It's a confused generation, and also I usually cry for the young person.
You're a Gen Z yourself?
Yes.
And you're praying for the rest of the Gen
for
Z?
the rest, and I'm also
That's a
part of
good
it.
thing. That's
yes,
a good
absolutely.
thing for
That
real.
is the truth.
I applaud you for that, yeah.
Because
rarely do you find it, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why most of the time I find that confusion something, that's a thing that is troubling a lot. And that's why, as we started, I just made my intentions clear. We have to understand that. It's not the bad boy who wins. That is a fact. And most of the time, okay, he has classified them into two, the poor bad boy and the bad boy. But as far as the bad boy aspect is there, these individuals are not going to make it anywhere. But I said, for us to make something substantial from these people,
Yeah.
let's embrace a culture where they understand what they're supposed to do. We said we should empower this young man and we should guide this young guy.
I once asked Andrew Kibe, I think on his X space, I asked, why are men not empowered? He said men do not need empowerment. A man needs to get money and stop whining and crying.
Okay,
like a lady. In fact, that's what he said. Stop whining and crying like a lady. Go get money.
Absolutely.
So, but you're mentioning empowerment. So I'd like to also just get your version of what is empowerment for a boy child specifically. Yeah.
Yes. So this is it. Sometimes we say he who controls the social media controls the mind, and that's why any moment that somebody even now brings up the question or the issue of masculinity, you have that concussion from Andrew Kibe and the rest. That's not what it entails. But now you have asked about empowerment. This generation, we have just erased or the real man who is always built naturally and the girl is always looking for is like getting eroded. So what you're doing by empowerment, it's not really empowerment because men are naturally like that. It's true, usually has a point. Look for money, you'll be fine, but not really. Without understanding, with money, you'll be a bad boy, as they say.
Okay.
You'll be the Subaru boy.
Do you absolutely become a bad boy when you have money?
No, he has said, no, I'm saying.
What about this one who's in
no,
church,
I'm saying,
praising God,
I
singing,
said this,
playing the keyboard?
I said this.
Yeah.
For him, if you follow what he says, go get money without direction, without guidance. Did you get that?
Okay.
What will you become?
A good person with money.
Oh, listen, you lack guidance. In short, you just followed what he's telling you. Go get money. And with what, sometimes I don't really agree with his entire content. Sometimes when you listen to him, he usually advocates.
You get conflicted.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you.
So it's just like telling you,
says,
no strings attached, no nothing. You just go get maybe smash and pass.
So what is empowerment for the man once
So
again?
for the man, this is what I'm saying. The ideal masculinity is what we should recover. Because if we have a man
Ideal masculinity, okay,
who is totally invested in being a man. A man naturally is just somebody who is supposed to, most of the time you hear the girls need protection from a man. They need provision from a man. They need direction from a man. They need guidance from a man. So what our young man lacks today is how to protect, provide, to how is he going to do this? And that's why most of the time you'll see them now confused. And most of the time now they are falling into all these things, So what you have to do is...
Just hold it there before I actually lose it. What is happening to this man that he can't protect, he can't provide, and be there for the lady? Is it dating back from his family, his childhood, where he comes from, or is just an irresponsible man who decided to be, cuckoo crazy?
Okay, there's no rigidity in viewing these issues. Considering the fact that we have a lot of things affecting. We have environment, we have where you come from, we have what you have learned, we have where you're schooling from, So it's an issue of, if you came from a poor background, as you said, for example, now let's take for the young, poor people who are clingy, loyal, and he said they are bad men.
Poor, clingy, and loyal.
As you said, as you put it, so they came, so that is a different environment,
Yeah.
That is a different environment.
Right.
We have another one who came from a poor family.
Right.
A good one, maybe even a Christian, or maybe his father never neglected him. He has been teaching him how to become a man, That person is going to become...
He was brought up well.
He was brought up well.
Okay.
Absolutely, is going to become a very nice person with the ideal masculinity.
Yeah.
And either
but you
way,
said the nice guy is a simp,
Oh, no, something else I had to... nice guys, in nowadays, the definition the societal definitions. Remember, I checked into that before we continued. I said what society needs you to do and what exactly you should do.
Yeah.
There should be balance.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So in that, the balance has to come in. You have to
Yeah.
prioritize what matters at the right time. And most so as a man, especially in our young age,
I get you.
your purpose.
I get you.
Cut
But he
yourself
said
everything.
everybody is a simp.
In his own-
What
now-
matters is the level of your simping.
Your level of simping.
Do
So
you agree? Yeah.
I totally disagree with him, actually. I was to address that issue. One thing that you have to know is how do you define that simping for you? For me, remember, I never said it's not an issue of money. It's not an issue of gifting, you know? That comes later on. Those are conditions. Those are just your situations.
Yeah.
You can be rich but still a simp. How?
Okay.
The problem is not the car that you're buying. It's always that girl treating you.
Yeah.
For example, let's say she is doing this and that. For example, she's not really interested into you. And as a man, what you do is keep on chasing and chasing. That is the definition of simping in this
We are told
context.
men should chase women.
No, like chasing
Chase.
and chasing. You know, these girls will always be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if a girl does not want you, sometimes you don't have to prove a point. That is the truth. And even though you keep on, that one will be left for the bad boy, you know, and you'll be there saying, these bad boys usually thrive.
But have we not had confessions and testimonies of, I chased her for 5 years.
And
I traveled to another country to even find her. And finally, here we are, happily
Here
ever
we
after
are.
on the altar. Ring on it here.
Okay,
Haven't we not
I'm
seen
going to
such
ask you a
examples?
question
Yeah.
logically. How many cases are those?
There are so many on social media, actually.
Okay, like how many? Give me a percentage.
I can't, I'm not
just-
ChatGPT anyways.
no, not really,
I
like-
can't do the algorithm, but there are
But you
countless
can
actually.
just
There are countless,
approximate.
yeah. There are countless and actually interesting
Okay,
stories, yeah.
which are the most?
Of course, men and women.
The most cases are not really off. I got 5 years. That is the truth. Sometimes these individuals, as far as the girl likes you, you have to understand this, naturally flows. There's no girl who is going to trouble you for long as far as she's into you. And most of the time, as a man, and what I have seen personally, even in my schooling, and even the boys that we are out here and the girls that are out here, as far as the girl likes you, she's not going to trouble you. And the moment you
So
see,
she'll be
that
conservative
is true.
and
That is true.
display loyalty.
And even though
Yeah.
she's going to act hard to get, it's just for a while. That is the truth.
Oh,
And later,
okay.
the moment you show your
Interesting.
interest as a man, that is the
Yeah.
fact. You should stop.
So if she wants you, she will communicate,
That
she'll
is-
give a sign.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
And
okay.
the moment, even when she's acting, she can't act in a way to turn you off completely.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
no point in time that
So
you're going to run.
there's always a green light
He has
somewhere.
to give you a green light.
Yeah.
And
okay.
the man will see it
I get
and
that, I
keep
get
on
that, I
running
get
for it. So we
yeah.
should not really try to fool the men. It's not an issue of you chasing and chasing. A girl who wants you and you want her is going to
In fact,
be
she might
very
chase
easy.
you instead.
She will. Actually, she does.
Uh-huh.
I have seen the same. As far as a
Okay.
girl wants you, she'll chase you. So we should not, should stop relying.
Would you accept a girl who chases you instead of you chasing her?
Let me tell you
Like
one
yeye
thing.
ndo anakatiana
As the man, most of the time-
mistari, yeye ndo anarusha mistari
Anakurushia.
kwako instead of you sasa kurusha
So,
kwako.
you know, this is now another thing that I usually say. We consider feelings, you consider what you want with her. So you just go straight to the point. And that's
Okay.
how even the girls will always make things straight. If she doesn't want you, she'll always make it hard for you or completely even make those 5-10 years, you know.
Wow.
That is true.
That's
And
a
for
hard
man,
life to live.
That is the
5-10
truth,
years, okay.
what you've said.
Yeah.
But now if she wants you, it's either you want her back. And if you don't want to, just tell her, honestly,
Yeah.
it can't happen. And if she chases you and you feel like you have it, most of the time it works.
Good
And for
Lord.
most men,
Yeah.
it's an issue of respect. If a girl chases me and she shows me enough respect, as a man, even though you never wanted her in the beginning, as far as she's showing it, you will absolutely fall for it. Why? Because you really value respect and love. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
a fact.
Let me jump on to you. Is there any mental underlying issue with the ones that are still fighting to have this bad boy back into their life? Because he has done you dirty. You know, he's showed you signs that, you know what, he's reckless. Like you mentioned, there's those signs, reckless, being aggressive, outgoing, literally everywhere. But then she's done her dirty, but then this chick is still fighting again, fighting to have him back into her life. You've already been hurt emotionally, but you're still crying, oh, I still need you, you know. Don't you see some psychosis situation going?
Yeah, okay. First, before that, I just want to say also something.
It's interesting because you're out of time anyways, yeah.
okay, yeah.
Time really flies fast. I think we can have a part 2 of this conversation. Go ahead.
Okay.
2
So,
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
One, I'll say this: men are carriers of love. women are the receptive of love. Okay? So why is it that in most cases, as my brother was saying here, it is okay for a girl to chase you, but trust me, this man will cheat on you. There's a high probability. Why am I saying this? It is simple. Men are like cheaters. They love hunting and hunting. So if you give them for free, they will use it that way. They will not value it because anyway you started it, so you wanted it more.
You didn't earn it.
You see, that's the problem.
Okay.
So that is why even if you look at, go and ask around, a lady, if they love you or if they like you, they will hold you to it. They'll just give you cues until you make the first move as a man.
Yeah.
Not them making the move. They will actually tease you into making the move.
Yeah.
So, but if the girl makes the move as the first person, then definitely the whole story changes, and you find that now the man will just be reckless in that. He should be knowing that no matter what happens, she brought herself here, so she will always be here. That is now the danger.
Alijileta.
Yes, now let's yes, alijileta. So juu amejileta, atajiweka tu hapa ataka. So I will just do my own stuff. But once you hunt for something, you will value it because you'll also be appreciating the effort that you put in getting it. So lastly, as I finish with what you asked me, yes,
actually we are out of time. Just hold it there. I want you to react to this from that whole article. It says, bad boys have mastered the art of manipulation and gaslighting with a touch of hopelessness and in romance.
Exactly.
There's manipulation, right?
That's what I was.
You agree as well?
I said it.
Okay.
That's what I was telling you in the morning here when we started all this. I was telling you that they use money. Money is power, and that is why they will always bring all these things. So they will manipulate you by just using that power over. They know what you want. They know you are desperate. They will go for someone who is lower than them, because if you are at par or above them, it will be hard for you to even try maybe to hustle. But once you are below them, money, academically, in terms of finances and every other thing, they will definitely do all these things to you.
This one is even more fire. Women love problems always. That's why they dump you if you're too good.
Good. Same thing.
It's true?
Yeah, this girl, mwenye aliulizwa, why did you break up with your man? Akasema, this girl is too good for me. Hatubishani, hatusumbuani, tuko tu, like, he apologizes over nothing.
Exactly. But why do you want to fight, lock each other up, throw glasses, break, utensils?
That's the nature of women. They love creating this
Violence.
And that is why, hata asubuhi, you are talking, you are okay jana. Hata mmelala vizuri. Then mnaamka asubuhi amekukasirikia bure out of nowhere.
Chaos.
Yes, chaos. No,
bro, peace of mind.
Hajui.
Bro, peace of mind. Peace of mind.
They thrive in that. So once mnaanza kusumbua na kwenda nini umejump bas.
So that's where
then
man.
Things come.
The feedback is wild, but let's just end it. Let's have this as a part one. Sawa. Semeni social media zenu, msiseme parting shot social media as you exit. Moja yenye uko active.
Moja yenye niko active.
Yenye unaweza kupata.
You can get me Instagram 123_King_Josh.
Oh, that's a Gen Z handle, to be honest. Yours?
On Twitter, Gladson Madin 10. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gladson Obwamo, alongside Jonah Mugambi, for your insights. We can have a part two. Definitely, I trust you guys will be in. So, green tick there. And green tick to you too for watching us from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. We are ending the show right now. We'll absolutely see you tomorrow bright and early. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.